Paul knocks down Diaz and wins by unanimous decision. Paul vs. Diaz boxing match took place Saturday, August 5th at American Airlines Center in Dallas, Texas, and was streamed on DAZN and ESPN Plus pay-per-view. Jake Paul was well prepared for Nate Diaz, and he didn't look like was the fighter who was out-hustled by Tommy Fury. Early in the fight, Paul battered Diaz with his speed and power, and was working Diaz's body. Paul rocked Diaz badly in the first round, then dropped him in the fifth. The YouTube star was chasing the finish, but also seemed to be very aware who he was sharing the ring with, so he was cautious not to put himself in harmful ways. During Diaz's best rounds, Paul still managed to land some good counter punches, and keep Diaz in check. Diaz for his part, landed enough volume to make for an entertaining fight. In the 10th round, Diaz wrapped up a guillotine around Paul's neck, possibly setting the stage for an MMA match in the future. Paul ended winning their boxing match via unanimous decision. In the post-fight press conference, Nate Diaz made it clear that he respects Jake's boxing ability after going 10 rounds with him. But that doesn't mean Diaz thinks the YouTube star is a real fighter. "I'm not trying to talk," Diaz said at Saturday's post-fight press conference. "He's boxing high-level MMA guys and he's sparring hard and working with good people. And then he starts talking to me throughout the camp. It comes with the territory and all is fair, love and war, I'm always about that. Say whatever you want, that's fine. But then when you start making things personal, trying to make things personal, saying shit he shouldn't be saying. It hurts people's feelings when I say this ain't a real fight. Done deal. That was already over that fight. In a real fight, this fight's over and we're sitting up here with a win," Diaz said in relation to the guillotine choke he caught Paul in the closing seconds of the final round. And the fighter finished up the interview open to a possible MMA rematch with Paul. "Right now, we're going to go home and we're going to talk about it, and we're going to figure out whether we want to do MMA or boxing, and then we'll see what they want to do. They said they wanted to do the PFL thing, and I think that if we want to do that, we're going to have to co-promote and do real fight versus PFL, and I'm with that. But my goal is to get a rematch in any art. We're going to see what happens with him, see if he really wants to do that. If not, I'll be back in this hunting him down too. Either way is fine with me." It seems like Paul is open to the MMA rematch against Diaz, even though the reporters asked in the post-fight press conference about a possible boxing match with Conor McGregor, who was all over social media while watching Diaz clash with the social media influencer in the boxing match. "I don't care about that guy," Paul said about McGregor. "He needs to go to rehab. I want Nate in MMA. I want more professional boxers and I want Canelo Alvarez. What do you think? Are you interested in Diaz versus Paul in an MMA match? And is Jake Paul ready to face a boxer like Canelo Alvarez?" Sandhagen smothers Font, and Suarez finishes Andrade. When the UFC Nashville main event was over, Corey Sandhagen solidified his position as a top contender in the bantamweight division. Sandhagen took control of the fight from bell to bell using his wrestling to dominate Rob Font, who couldn't do much off his back. It wasn't the most crowd-pleasing fight, especially being the main event of the night, but Sandhagen's takedowns and top control secured him a dominant unanimous decision, and kept him as the top contender in the division. Sandhagen swept the scorecards with all judges giving 50-45 scores. Then he called for a title shot against the winner of bantamweight champion Aljamain Sterling and Sean O'Malley. "I wanted to put a more exciting fight on. I've been dealing with a lot of elbow problems recently, and I think I tore my tricep in the first round. I'm a wrestler now, apparently. Sterling and O'Malley, I'll see you guys in Boston. I've got next." But it also may not have been what his boss Dana White wanted to see. Social media reports during the headliner showed that UFC President Dana White left his cage-side seat in the middle of the fight while the crowd was booing the fight, and he didn't come back to watch the rest of the fight or go to the post-fight press conference. Clearly, the boss man wasn't happy with Corey's performance. What do you think? Do you agree with the Sandman, he is next for the winner of the Bantamweight Championship bout, or do you think Dana White will have different plans? Tatiana Suarez picked up her second win since a long injury layoff, defeating ex-champ Jessica Andrade with a second-round submission, and potentially securing a title shot next. The fighter also scores a $50,000 bonus for strangling Jessica Andrade in the co-main event. Now Suarez hopes she might be in position to ask for a 115-pound title shot. Champion Zhang Weili is scheduled to put the belt on the line against Amanda Lemos at UFC 292 in Boston, and Suarez is confident she will get the winner. "I think I match up well against them. I think I match up well against everybody," she said. "I think that I'm going to be a world champion. I think I'm the best in the world, and I'm going for that strap. So, whatever they want to give me, I'll make it happen. But I do believe that I deserve to fight for the title. I don't know who's going to win, but I want the winner." While no fight of the night bonus was awarded, every fighter who scored a finish took home an extra $50,000 check. Let's take a look at the official UFC Nashville post-fight bonus winners. Jesus Pinedo upsets Bubba Jenkins in PFL playoffs. The PFL light heavyweight and featherweight playoff finals are set after a great night of fights this past Friday in San Antonio, Texas. In the main event, Jesus Pinedo picked Bubba Jenkins apart on the feet, stopping the fighter in round 2 via TKO. Pinedo came in heavy to this fight at 146.4 pounds, and he was deducted a point in this bout against Bubba Jenkins. Also, if he had won by decision, he would have only advanced to the finals if he won by a 2-point margin on at least 2 scorecards. So Pinedo really needed a finish to advance to the featherweight final, and the fighter didn't disappoint. He used his range and size advantage to engage on strikes that knocked Jenkins down in the opening round, only being saved by the bell. The fighter from Peru came back even stronger in round 2, and this time he was able to stop Jenkins with strikes via TKO. In the second featherweight bout to determine the other finalist, undefeated fighter, Gabriel Braga defeated Chris Wade by split decision. Pinedo will now rematch Gabriel Braga for the $1 million check in the featherweight playoff final. Braga won their first bout in the regular season by a split decision. In the co-main event of PFL 7, top-seeded light heavyweight Josh Silveira, son of legendary MMA coach Conan Silveira, defeated Ty Flores via TKO in the first round. In the clinch, Silveira landed a series of knees to the head, before he was able to stop a very tough Ty Flores and secure his spot in the light heavyweight playoff final. Silveira will face Impa Kasanganay in the $1 million light heavyweight playoff final on December 8th in Dublin, Ireland, as the Kasanganay scored his own highlight reel knockout. The fighter was able to stop Marthin Hamlet's takedown attempts, then floored him with a massive right hand, and follow up with a left punch enough for the referee to stop the fight. Kasanganay won the fight via first-round KO. Who do you think are going to win the $1 million purse for light heavyweight and featherweight playoff finals? The PFL playoff action continues on August 18th featuring heavyweight and women's featherweight division semifinals in New York City.